Oh. Sorry about that.
Monza, welcome back. They're so close to one another. Oh, costly mistake from Formula Kai.
A disastrous end to the sprint race means I'm only going to finish P3.
Well, that wasn't very ideal, is it? Let's hope I don't do that again in the race.
And it's going to be 5 lights, and off we go. Red Bull gets a mega launch. Are they gonna go 4 wide into turn 1?
What are they doing?
Carnage. Absolutely carnage.
That was close. Okay, push. We have to stay with P1 here.
Enzo's shown tremendous pace here. Already 9/10 away from the rest of the field. Looks like it won't be long before he will be out of the DRS. It appears he's well out of Kai's reach, and it is looking to be Enzo's race to win.
Damn, he's too fast.
All good, Kai. All good, Kai. Get your head down and focus on the race.
Copy.
Madalas sabi ka, safety car mo to.
Oh, and there was a crash.
There's a moment when silence falls on a racetrack.
It appears everybody is diving into the pits. Only a few decide to stay out. Will the tires make it to the end from here? I do not think so.
Alright, we've been gifted another chance. We have to stay with him if we want a shot at the win. Safety car coming in now. It's about to go green.
Tell us a bit about what went through your head. You had a second chance at staying with him, but you squandered it all on the restart.
Well, that's kind of harsh, isn't it?
Enzo immediately on the attack into turn 1. He is wasting no time. Kai seems to have been caught napping. A very poor restart.
Now I'm currently sitting in P9, but I knew I had to get to the front and follow Enzo. But the hards are just not that fast compared to the older hards. But Enzo, simply by being more aggressive, is already almost at the top, and I'm still struggling to overtake the people that are out on old tires. I knew it would be a matter of time before I would overtake everybody. Will it be fast enough to stay with Enzo before he pulls away from the field?
Ay. Enzo is once again out of reach. The competition just simply cannot keep up with him today.
All we can do now is to get our head down and hope for another safety car. I didn't have to wait for long though.
What's that? Another safety car has come out. Jesus, how many safety cars are we gonna see today? It has managed to close the fields together once again though.
Every fiber inside my body just knew that I had to stay with him, no matter the cost.
And we are underway for the Italian Grand Prix again. Of the restart, it appears Kai has finally decided to wake up halfway through this race. He's in a slipstream now, closing, and it's all over the back of Enzo. Through his calorie, it appears Kai just simply cannot keep up with him. Is it setup related or just plain old driver difference? Hard to say.
He will gain a few tenths back on the straight. He would just gain it back through Ascari. I was just so close, lap after lap, on the edge of falling out of DRS, but I never did.
He's braking so much later there. I can't follow his line.
The line he took through there, the way he braked so late, I just didn't know how to follow him.
One thing is for sure though, if Kai drops out of DRS this time, it will be game over for him.
After a few laps, I managed to bring it down to a pretty manageable gap. I had a bigger of a margin of error to stay within his DRS, and we were steadily pulling away from the rest of the pack. So to me, we had P1 and P2 in the bag. Now, would it be weird if I told you if I had a penny every time a safety car brought me back into the race? I'd have 3 pennies, which isn't a lot, but it's weird that it's happened 3 times in a single race.
Demon out.
Bus.
Is he gonna stay out? Is he gonna go in? What is he gonna do? I have to make a split-second decision, and I decide to follow him in.
Now I knew that softs would not go to the end because it is the C5 compound of tires, the softest compound available. And not everybody is going to pit. Some people are going to stay out on old tires, hoping to keep the track position. And Enzo has gone onto the softs. A very interesting strategy. This means that I would have to stay with him while we carve through the field, and I need to stay with him if I want a chance at the win. Off the restart here, I get a very good launch out of Parabolica, and I'm going to strike on the attack, forcing him to take the inside line. But the Visa Cash App Red Bull is so slow through the corner, and the Red Bull on brand new softs decided to sneak it down the inside. But there's contact in the back, and both the V-Carb and Red Bull just simply spin out of turn one. Now I was hoping here that Enzo might get stuck with my teammate, but on brand new softs versus old hards, there's just no competition. And we move on past my teammate. Unlucky for him, but I have to do what it takes to win this race. And we're already up 2 positions. This is very good. His softs are still much faster than mine, but every lap that goes by, my mediums will get faster compared to his softs. And as you can see right there, I get smarter with my energy usage, and this is where I actually started using none more as to match his energy usage. If he harvests, then I harvest. There's no room for mistake here. Already a lap has gone by, and we're up to P6 and P7. There's still 5 cars to overtake before we get into the lead of the race, and I'm gonna go on the attack again just to put him under pressure into turn 1. I'm gonna force him to take the unideal line down the inside, but he defends beautifully, going into none and forcing me to go too wide with the other car behind. But come on, I wasn't born yesterday. You can't shake me off that easily. Only 4 cars to overtake now before we get into the lead, and 5 laps to go, including this one.
And we were just on such a big tire differential. I think we were at least a second, if not second and a half, faster than the rest of the field.
Through Lesmo 1 and 2, we were just so much faster on the brand new tires. Everybody in front of us are on old tires, and it just shows the amount of grip that we have, the amount of traction we get out of corners. It's just on another level. It's like we're driving a different discipline altogether. Through Ascari again, there's not much time to be gained as we're stuck behind the cars in front. I'm gonna put it into none, lower the deployment mode just to save some battery and wait for the right moment to pounce. As I said, every lap that goes by is another lap that my tires will ultimately get faster relative to Enzo's softs. And he is on a ticking time bomb, whereas I'm not. I'm in no rush. All I have to do is stay with him, and I will win this race. Into turn 1 again, I think about a late lunge, but gotta leave some room to the Merc on the inside, and we move up to P5, and it's a very scary moment from the Alpine car. And Enzo, that little cheeky bastard that he is, moves to the left to give the Merc a little slipstream. He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's doing. But that is another move done, and I am up to P4, Enzo up to P3. Only 2 cars to overtake now before we are in clean air. The question is, will I be able to keep with him, and will I be able to stay with him once we do reach a clean air? That is the question. As we cross the line, 3 laps from the end, but the Alpine behind us has not said his final word yet, and he goes on the attack, which caught me off guard. Move a little late at the end to defend, but what are you doing, man? Like, you're just making both of us lose time. And Enzo is just looming, looking to pounce on his next target, and you just see the softs, the amount of grip that it has, and he goes down the inside around turn 4, completely outbrakes the Alpine. Now I have the job to do. I have to get past the Alpine car before Enzo pulls away once again. Will I be able to? That's the question. Out of Lesmo, we are pushing him around. DRS wide open, overtake on, move up to P3. Once again, Enzo moves to the left to give him some slipstream. Man, get out of here with that. through Ascari. We have cleared all the cars on old tires, safe but one car, the Red Bull on old hards. And once again, I see Enzo flashing. I tone down the deployment mode as to save some battery. I save it for the moment when I actually need it. And you can see that Enzo, he's not pulling away as steadily anymore. He's actually struggling with the back end a little bit. Into turn 1. Using DRS, a little bit of a hot lap mode as to stay as close as possible to Enzo, and down the inside, get a little bit squeezed. Even Enzo gets a little tank slapper on the exit, and we move up to P2 as we approach the final lap of the race. Difficult to say who will have the most advantage, who will have the better shot at the win. Once again, he's blinking, he's harvesting, he's trying to save as much energy as possible because he knows he's gonna need it on the final lap, and he's trying to back me up into the rest of the field. And through Lesmo 1 and 2, you'll see in a moment the dirty tactics that's gonna be at play here. DRS open, he lifts as to let me by, but no, there's no way I'm gonna take the lead before the final lap. I want the DRS out of the final corner, out of Parabolica, and he pulls the pin. He tries to pull away, but for some reason, maybe it's setup related and more straight line speed, I just managed to close up 3/10 out of Ascari. And he knows at this point he's not gonna get out of DRS. His tires are worse than mine. The mediums have come alive, and they are much faster relative to the old softs that Enzo is on. DRS open, but I do not want to use overtake too much. It gives us a little squeeze, and we move past. Not quite, not exactly, not 100% into turn 1, but I park it on the apex just a little bit to cover up the switchback, and out of turn 1, we are in P1, leading for the first time in this race. Into turn 4 now, we have to manage the battery to perfection, leave just enough on the table as to have enough on the final straight to the final corner. Out of turn 4, beautiful exit, no mistake this time around. Through Lesmo, a little understeer, almost dying on the exit, but managed to keep it on track, pointed in the right direction. Out of Lesmo 2, the final DRS straight of this race, and he's closing a lot, and he's gonna be right on my gearbox into Ascari, but I was there first. He was not entitled to any space. It was my corner, and out of Ascari, I'm gonna try to break the toe, burn all the remaining battery that I have, as the Red Bull actually manages to get past Enzo because he used up all of his battery to catch me up through Ascari. Through the final corner, through Parabolica, one last time this race. It is going to be P1 across the line, and I could not be any happier. Quite a lot of fun making this video. I wanted to try something different. If you enjoyed watching it, definitely let me know in the comments below. Give it a like, and I'll see you very soon. Bye-bye.